which is largely about visual representation questions, symbols, and like commercials, ads, magazine ads, how symbols get developed and used by people. Then we'll hit phenomenological. Now, let me just say that I did my best to pull out of Littlejohn the things. Now, if there's something in his category, for instance, of semiotic that I don't have, read it. Okay? So, for instance, under semiotic, he's got also 289, 288, 289, 317, 321. So read those too. So use this in addition to my notes. Those are little short ones, but do that. Phenomenological is the existential dimension, the appearances and interpretations. So Craig has a couple of primary readings on that, and then Littlejohn has some comments on it. It's up to you if you want to read Craig or Littlejohn first. Littlejohn may orient you, and then Craig will give you the original stuff, or you can do it the other way around. It's up to you. Whatever you find works best for you. Then we'll hit cybernetic, which is systems theory, and Melissa will help me here a little bit to bring in some of this. So we did a whole course on this, and a lot we could talk about under cybernetics. I'm going to review them here later today. Then we hit socio-psychological. Do I have any? Well, I have a psych major, right? So we'll connect with the psychological theories of human communication. And then a socio-cultural, which is sociology. Did anyone minor in sociology? Or your English degree will come in under phenomenological. That's where we talk a lot about how people interpret different texts and literary criticism and things like that. Critical theory, we kind of end up with, but some of you may want to look at that earlier. That has to do with issues of power, issues of politics, issues of whose interests are served by the communication forms that we work with. Then we'll have a couple of days for our projects. We'll integrate ourselves, and then our final is the same time as this class, where it's really 5 to 7 on the 18th. Yeah, I don't know why they move it up a half hour, but it's 5 to 7. So, and the exam is what, like I said, will be your mini comms, defending. So. All right, any thoughts or questions, fears, anxieties?
So the thing that we should be defending at the end is going to evolve over the course of the semester. It's not like we should be having
That's correct.
a stomach ache about it yet.
No, don't do that. In fact, don't ever do that. I don't know what it says about me on any of the professor boards, but I think I'm pretty easy about that stuff. Students always know what the exam's going to be about, and I'm willing to go over it ahead of time with them. So it's always a minor confusion to me why students fail finals. When I give it ahead of time, I go over it twice, and then I answer questions on email, and then they fail. So as soon as you figure that out, you tell me.
Our first journal, is it going to be due this?
I would like you to write one. No, I'd like you to write one. And you can write it on the basis of the lecture or just your general impressions of theory and communication issues. If you can't think of anything else to do, try to identify communication issues in your area of interest. So what are the things that are significant, difficult, or confusing in your area of interest? So you say, well, there's significant is, we got when people have to be in front of a camera, or difficult is when people have to write things, or I don't know. And what's confusing is who's the best spokesperson. You figure it out in your field of interest. I mean, one of the interesting local things from PR perspective is the iPhone issue. You know, a lot of conversation we could have about what happened, how was it dealt with, what were the communication channels that were used. This thing developed really quick because of blogs, you know, and so that's PR people have to adjust to the fact that it's not just about writing things for newspapers, you know, but you got a blogosphere out there that is just, you know, going crazy, and you got to be there. So, you know, if you're in charge of PR for somebody, you got to be monitoring that, and so. All right, so let's take a 15-minute break. Is that long enough for you to get whatever you need to get? And then we'll come back and do some orientation.